Welcome back to Sly 2. This is part 30 and well, things aren't going smoothly, let's just say that. And this is the big part of the game. And as you can see here, I bought everything already before even going out, and not even selecting the characters. And if you want to know why, well, this part of the game is, well, as you can see here, it's gonna be a bunch of, team ups here. Every gang's member is gonna have something to do, and they're gonna have, like Bentley said, everyone's working in perfect harmony, even though it's just part 1 is one character and part 2 is another. Everyone's gotta have a crack at the engine. Anyway, thanks to Neela's actions, Clockla is now roaming around this map and don't get spotted by her flashlights, let's just say that.
This engine room is locked down tight. Since we can't get in, I figure we'll have to destroy it from the outside.
I hope you're carrying some heavy explosives, Bentley, because that engine isn't small.
It just so happens that there's a ready supply of explosives already available on the blimp. Walk one of these TNT barrels up to that engine room to destroy it.
Sounds easy enough. What's the catch?
The initial payload in that TNT barrel won't be powerful enough to do the job. If you pick up 3 magnetic chargers, you should achieve the necessary blast force to destroy the engine. It's simple, really. Just get close to the chargers, and they'll automatically attach to your barrel.
All right, let's blow stuff up.
Oh boy, this is the job I struggled the most on recording. And it's not because of this. No, I just wanted to get, rid of these guys early. The whole map is now populated by flashlight guards, so this should make the job easier, somewhat. Unfortunately, this map is not designed around these guys being everywhere. So one of the issues you're gonna find here in this job is you're in a barrel that can't take a single hit, because obviously that just blows it up. And this is the only point in the job where the TNT barrel is disposable. You can blow this one up freely if you want, and you can just get another one. But once you get that charger, that's it, you're locked in. And I'm afraid all these flashlight guards love to do very, very quick 180s. And if for whatever reason you're blocking the way, that's it. You failed the job right then and there. If I was right there standing in front of him, he would not even bother to walk around the barrel. Eventually you wait long enough and he'll just attack the barrel straight on and you fail. So this job requires a lot of precision. And unfortunately, well, you got a lot of ground to cover here. There's a lot of room for error. So a tip I would give is you'd always want to be more than a flashlight's length away from these guys, because as you see here, this guy had no reason to just walk here and turn around like that. Instead of just walking to the other side, he had to do that quick 180 just because he could. Or I guess in that case it was a U-turn. But they're more than capable of 180s. And unfortunately for me, I seem to have gotten a really bad card here with RNG. The first time I did this, I got a pretty light patrol with most of these guards. But obviously, due to the way I cut things in these videos, I have to keep restarting the job every time I fail it. And it seems after the first run, every run at this results in maximum flashlight guards patrolling the area. I think the first time some one of the more annoying guards here just don't spawn for some reason. So, you at home, if you're playing this, take advantage of that. Unfortunately, wasn't the part where I failed the first time. It was like after this. You wanna know why? Because these guys do quick 180 turns. Ugh. So if you ever want the candidate for least favorite job or worst job ever, Charge TNT Run is certainly the go-to choice. Oh, and don't be fooled by the length of the flashlight here. Those guards can see you beyond their lights. Just, like, maybe just barely, but they can certainly see you, and it gets really annoying. Like, the game actively bends its own rules here for some reason in this episode.
With the TNT barrel all charged up, it's time to deliver the payload to that engine.
And how many times have I said this now? These guards in this game just do not react well to objects that normally aren't in the way in their patrols. Just combine that with the fact that these aren't normal patrols they're supposed to take, and you got one gigantic headache of a job. It's a good sign, isn't it, when they pull out the best surprise for last. So of course episode 8, the last episode of the game, has to have the most annoying job. And man, am I glad the job help list actually puts this first. Putting this for last, despite this being probably the hardest one. And surprisingly, according from what I can tell from the video length here, this is like the shortest job of them all. And it happened to be the most annoying. Although if we were looking at like the raw video here, instead of this edited down one, I think this would be the longest one that I took. Of course, if I were to do an unedited playthrough of Sly 2, I would be certainly taking advantage of the retry checkpoints you get when you fail a job. Because, well, it's really annoying to have to keep abandoning the job every time you fail, just to make sure this looks a little seamless. And through you can clearly tell the audio cuts out in a really specific way. Anyway, fuck this job. That's all you need to know. Screw it. Burn it.
That should be the last time anyone puts that engine to use.
Blow it up. I don't know. It's done. And hopefully I'll never have to think about it again. Anyways, you can see from those job titles, they sort of tell you the order of how things work. Whoever initiates the job is the first person involved, and then it switches up to the next character there. So if you aren't following the job help list like I am, you'd probably just start with the Sly one. If you don't go back to the safe house for any reason, you'll still be able to seamlessly switch between characters to get to the next job. So that's kind of the nice thing here, because none of the other episodes do that. Oh yeah, this is clearly me being very frustrated. I think I spent like how long on this job? Like almost an hour? Look, this is 9 minutes so far. This could have been way longer. Oh yeah, here's Diablo Fire Slam. And Raging Inferno Flop, that's what it was. Look, I don't use these gadgets very often, so forgive me if I don't remember. Yeah, and that was the new gadget we bought. Saving the best for last.
Murray, it looks like I'm gonna need some help getting into that engine room.
Happy to help.
Bentley tells me that the door to that room is locked down by wall-mounted power stations located throughout this blimp. I'll need you to take out all the power stations and then pry open the door by hand.
No sweat, Sly.
And of course, this has to be one of Murray's first jobs from the game. Back here in episode 8, of course. Oh, and here's the radioactive eggs in action in this episode. Those are technically the third enemy types. These, like, weird electricity shooting things. I'm afraid though this episode clearly did not have enough time to, you know, sit in the pot. So, yeah, this is about as raw as you get for an episode here. Like, if you want the most unpolished portion of Sly 2, episode 8 is clearly the candidate. And those guys, or robots I guess, are a very, very clear example of that. Oh yeah, and nice of the game to do that instead of, you know, aim at the thing that I'm supposed to destroy. Once again, you only still need 3 projectiles of any sort to destroy that. So I'm just going to be using everything at my disposal here that I find useful at least. And I think at this point I was just tired. I didn't care that I threw a barrel at point blank range. I just wanted to get done with this episode when I was recording. And I mean, if you ever play this, I think you'll understand. What was that? I clearly was not the target. He was within range of throwing it, and yet he didn't. Yeah, and of course these guys have to have a better version of Bentley's hover pack here. But now, every time they jump, they always emit some sort of flame. You know, like if you thought the recovery attacks most enemies had were bad, now just imagine every time they make some sort of big leap or movement, they always emit something to ensure that you can't be close to them. Man, that good old roar has never been more useful, ensuring that these guys can't harass you. Too bad Murray doesn't want to actually throw where he's supposed to. Well, that was one headache down, one more to go. I think this is the, I remember many years ago on YouTube some Sly Cooper related channel talking about this, like one spot. Apparently it was the money grinding spot. Although at this point, its money is beyond pointless. There's nothing you can buy now at this point, since all the gadgets are unlocked. The only thing left is just beating the game. I mean, I wasn't really grinding that much in this playthrough, so, and yet I was still able to get all the gadgets. So, if you can't even manage that, I don't know what to tell you. Thanks, Murray. Thanks for missing. Anyway, that's done. I should recommend that, by the way, that you keep the first character you're using. I don't know if you're not following the order I'm doing here. You want to keep the characters that you're using healthy, because Well, later on, the game for some reason saves like your health and gadget bar. So if I took damage here after this, Murray would retain it later in the next job he's involved in. You know, normally I'd probably save this information for later, but this episode's enough of a headache that for all you people who are using this as a guide, I just want to give you some advice now. Like, do yourself a favor, get some health.
Your turn, buddy.
Careful, Sly. This place is packed with laser security. First, you'll need to make your way to the far end of this room. Then jump up to the second level to get at the engine room control center.
I would say something about Sly 1 here, but Sly 1 wasn't this slow. And at least in Sly 1, you had the ability to turn invisible, which, if I remember right, it allowed you to ignore lasers, so... we don't have that ability, I'm afraid.
Alright, the control center is opposite your position in the room. With some well-timed spire jumping, you should be able to get access.
And yeah, your Spire jumps better be good in this part, because if you screw up and touch that blue laser grid thing, you die instantly. Which means you gotta go through that again. Yeah, well, I mean, you only lose like a minute or something, but it's still annoying. So don't let that happen. Also, I'm pretty sure you couldn't just stand on there even if it's not spitting. Like, that has to be hot. But whatever.
That arpeggio really knew his encryption algorithms. As it stands, I'm only 86.5% convinced the code to the vault is 725. You've gotten the shadow power move.
And look what's come back. Speak of the devil, it's the invisibility move from Sly 1. Not nearly as broken though.
That's lights out for this engine.
I'm afraid it won't help you with lasers, I believe. And of course there's the fact that it consumes your gadget bar really fast, so not all that useful. And of course it still comes with the same limitations. You still can't move very fast while using it. But at least they gave us the luxury of using the upgraded version of it instead of you know, the one that originally was where you couldn't like move when you were using it. And here's the beauty of this part of the game. Like I said before, any job you start with, whatever, you'll end up with a different character, and that character will be able to initiate the next job afterwards. So there's no need to go back to the safe house this time. Oh, very, very nice. If you don't feral pounce over your job marker, of course. It's a good gadget, but that can happen.
To disable that engine room, you and I are going to have to work together.
Happy to have you along, Bentley. What do you need me to do?
Pickpocket the guard's keys to the engine room. Once you've got the door open, I'll take over.
Okay, you should take your position. It's not gonna take me long to lighten these guys of their keys.
And of course, Sly's last major job in this game has to be a pickpocketing job. And of course it's keys. How many times has the game done this so far now? Oh well. It's the last one, it's just the last one. And of course it has to be the job with the extra resilient like rooftop guards or whatever. These aren't rooftops. Just an artifact name now. Whatever case, these guys are extra resilient, and of course they have to have those laser things that kill other guards instantly. And of course if that happens, job failed. Luckily that hasn't happened to me at any point in this Let's Play. Hell, it only really happened to me once so far in my whole life playing this game. I don't even know how it happened in the first place. Yeah, look at that. I did not bump into him. Seriously, look at that. That is episode 8 for you. Where guards can just do whatever they want, not follow the rules. Like the one time this gadget proved useful. Yeah, I think he even positioned himself just right so he wouldn't see you as easily next time. This is... yeah. Oh, and of course, look at that. Floating egg. Polish, huh? The next one has to be all the way over there. Unfortunately, there's no real shortcut here, besides the ladders here. Bentley and Murray just can't use them for some reason, so I guess this is some sort of Sly shortcut, but does it really deserve to have that sort of status to it? You know, ladders being Sly shortcut? Whatever, I guess he's the only one here with the climb move, or whatever that old prototype wants to refer it as.
Okay, Sly, I'm waiting by the engine room door.
And I was just showing off the limitation of the shadow power here. Obviously you can't just bump into guards with it. And you can't pull it up at any point when you're on alert. You could try, but well, nothing happens. Not even like that air sound effect. Oh, this must be real tense. If I screwed up at any point there, I would have fallen down and that would have been it. That would have been the good death.
Okay, Bentley, you're on.
Hey, Bentley, I'm looking at these, blueprints, and I think you've got to shoot out all the bulbs with your dart gun to get up to the second level. Here's the hard part. Once you shoot a bulb, you'll need to then take out the bulb the electricity is going to. If you miss and break the wrong bulb, there'll be a big power surge and kablam!
Couldn't have put it better myself. Yep, another instant death scenario here. Once again, you can't touch that blue grid thing because you'll just burn Bentley up badly enough and you'll have to do this part again. Really annoying how these things have to overlap, so it's gonna be real easy to shoot the wrong bulb and kill yourself. But hey, what better way to add challenge than to make it instant failure? I guess there wasn't anything else to make it more challenging. But I mean, the map was already doing a good job at that. And so far, I think this is like the only shooting related challenge in the game. Just this. Like, I hope I'm wrong and I'm just forgetting, but if this is seriously like the only time that Bentley uses his crossbow for a necessary purpose in a job, that's a little disappointing.
Okay, pal. You're all set to bounce up to the next level. If I'm reading this right, it looks like you need to bomb those power nodes to get into the control room. Once that door is open, you'll be able to shut this engine down for good.
And to defend the engine, they send out these by only the weakest enemies in the game. Of course. Like, you seriously have to be trying to get hurt by these guys. Like, even Bentley's having no issue with these guys. And he's the weak one. Like, I'm just standing here. They're not doing anything. And when they are shooting at me, it still doesn't do anything. Look at that. They're missing. They're actively hurting each other more than they're hurting Bentley here. Yeah, look at that. It doesn't even do much damage. Like, Sucker Punch really blew this one. They're even missing like the part of their model there. Let's just end this quickly.
Take it all the way, buddy. Flip the override switch and this engine is toast. That's one less engine for that creepy clockla thing to draw power from.
Unfortunately, though, as you know, one's just enough. So Bentley and Murray got another thing to do next. Although I think that's sort of it for the annoying engines. Oh yeah, now it's gonna be a good time to show off Bentley's new gadget here, the temporal lock. Not much of an opportunity there in the engine room when we're in the middle of a job. But here's Bentley, finally out here, out in the world. And unfortunately, the guards have better hover packs. That's actually a pretty nice detail for them to like bring it back. Like, clearly these guys got the better ones. Bigger, better, more detailed even. And that was temporal lock. Bentley can freeze time for about a few seconds, and you can make a hasty getaway with that. Or, do whatever you do with frozen time. Also, this is pretty clearly the time stop move from Sly 1, what do they call it, the flash? Time flash? I don't know. I didn't really get much of an opportunity to use it, ever. I mean, that is a gadget you get, like, after you beat Clockwork, so no surprise that it's underutilized. And just like before, you don't get it until it's way too late and it's not too useful. I think it kind of says a lot how these extra gadgets you can get can't really replace Bentley's moveset here, his natural moveset. But hey, even the time stop can save you from... Okay, maybe not, but yeah, they could somewhat save you from the flashlight guard's impeccable aim. That doesn't matter now because I don't think I have enough for another time stop.
That's one of the engines that needs to be disabled. I won't lie to you, Murray. This is going to be a tough job that requires both our skills.
My skills? Okay, Bentley, if you say so.
First, I'll need to hack the stations controlling access to the engine room. Then, Murray, you'll need to head inside and use your muscle to finish the job.
The Murray will be ready to go.
I think hacking's still better than picking pockets for keys. But what would I know from what Sly would do? Oh, you gotta love the cute music that plays here too. Yeah, I think it's based off the motif that this level's using for its background music. But the way it's just done here sounds so cute, I don't know. It's hilarious, like how evil it's trying to sound. But I would not accept anything else for a final level. Anyway, the gimmick for these Anyway, the gimmick for these hacking levels here is the ricochet, as you can see here. And the fact that everything's extra large for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. So everything's just bigger, badder. Maybe it's trying to say something about arpeggio. He's got some good antivirus programs, as you can tell. I wish I could have what he has. His firewalls are still just as good as everybody else's. And only 3. Well, I think that's the usual for these hacking jobs so far. 3's the charm. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, this part's real fun as anyone but Sly. Unfortunately, you'll just slip off, and you got no way to cling on, so you're just gonna have to bide your time. I mean, I was able to do that, and still find time to get across here. And this is what the hidden alcove is for. Okay, when the music's this sped up, it doesn't sound nearly as evil or cute anymore. Now it's just, eh. There was something magical about that first iteration of the background song for this hacking. Ricochets are still your best friend for these extra large antivirus programs, so just take advantage of them. I mean, they even clear out these guys much easier. Arguably, the hacking job from the previous episode is a lot harder than this one. Like, the only way you can fail this, I believe, is if you either get extra careless with those guys, or if you're just trying to rush through this. I mean, at this point, I'm surprised I wasn't. Of course, the next monitor or terminal or whatever has to be all the way at the other side of the map. Can't have it any other way. Oh, there's Claw. Even though what she sends out might not be too threatening, you still don't want to be caught by it. Oh, there's another floating egg there. Steer clear of it, it's radioactive, by the way. Yeah, always one thing after another in this episode. I found another use for the temporal lock, but unfortunately this guy, the flames continue emitting, even in Bentley's world. Then again, it's so far the only thing it seems to do is just freeze guards. It was like that in Sly 1 as well, I believe. So it's not really a true time-stopping ability. But I mean, that's lame to think of it as that way. That gadget that Bentley just bought should just freeze the entire universe right then and there. And I mean, if it weren't for the fact that it has incredibly limited use, you know, by how much it consumes the gadget bar, it should be busted. Like, nobody should be able to, like, do anything, like, not even lay a scratch on Bentley. But oh well. We can't all be Time Lords here. But I mean, that makes, like, what? 2 of the Cooper gang members that have the ability to manipulate time now? Sly learns that in the first game, alongside the ability to free, like, to slow and speed up time. Still in this game, by the way. And now Bentley here can stop time.
Make way for the Murray!
Yeah. Ah, you gotta love that. The Murray will finish this.
Hey, pal. Looks like you'll need to lift all those giant cylinders. Once they're locked in the up position, you'll be able to take them out from the top level.
I hope you love button mashing because you're gonna be doing this a lot.
Heads up, pal. You've got company.
And of course, there's never a moment alone in this game. Yeah, so see, these are the extra tough guys. These guys can tank the instant kill move. Because, of course, why not? It's the final episode. Pull out all the stops here. I hope your controls are not breaking down, by the way, at this point. That would really suck. Okay, so that works as instant death. For some reason. They don't take that. Well, these rules on instant death stuff. You know, maybe they should have buffed the Fist of Flames to actually be as strong as these barrels here. Or maybe that's the point. But still, it's a little disappointing to think that, you know, the normally instant kill moves that you have aren't instant kill for some reason. And it's just these specific enemy types. Like, not the flashlight guards, but these. Look at that, he even died instantly to that move. The geese from the previous 2 episodes could tank that, and the Fist of Flames. So these guys are technically the second strongest enemy type. And they also still go down in 2 hits. That's gotta be some, like, weird programming anomaly or something.
Nice work. Head up to the 2nd level and thunderflop on the giant cylinders. That should finish them off.
These guys die, like, instantly to everything else, as they should, but not, you know, the actual instant kill move that you bought coins for. I know it's from the beginning of the game, but seriously. Oh, I'm feeling really fancy here, using this Diablo Fire Slam here. Or Raging Inferno flop, sorry. I think this is the most I ever used it, ever. And it's only just so I can knock these things down in style. Unfortunately, it's gonna take a while, I'm afraid. You know, surprisingly, this wasn't the majority of the video as I thought it would be. Like, I thought it was a little suspect that this video was 40 minutes, but surprisingly, it wasn't because I was taking a really long ass time here. These guys are still just as pathetic as they were with Bentley or with Sly. They're just there. I don't even know if I want to call them the 3rd enemy type. I don't mean, you know, considering the snake from episode 2 is a 4th enemy type, or those moles, or anything else I might be missing.
Now, head into the control booth and pull the plug.
Even these robots are scared by that scream. Seriously.
Another engine bites the dust.
Murray can instill fear in anything.
And an unexpected windfall, I've been contacted by Inspector Fox over the shortwave radio. She's well aware of the dire situation we all face if Klakla becomes immortal and has agreed to join forces with us so that we can destroy the robotic bird. The only catch is that she's unable to locate this blimp on her radar. To help her hone in on our position, we'll need to boost the strength of 4 local radio towers. Once Inspector Fox is in range, she'll take one of us on board to act as a tail gunner in a dogfight against Klakla. This is it. We don't have time for another plan. We're almost over Paris, and if that hate hypnosis light show goes off, well, you know the story.